So if you don't know or aren't aware, Milestone Comics is making a comeback with a mainstream push by DC with 3 new series focusing on Static, Icon and Rocket, and Hardware. 3 of the most popular series from the Dakotaverse. The first to come out is none other than the most popular of the 3, Static, labeled Static Season 1. And I'm going to give you my feelings on it. If you're new to the channel, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe and the notification bell to stay up to date on videos on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. So issue number 1 of Static Season 1 continues after the events of Milestone Returns Infinite Edition number 0, which details the new origin of the Dakotaverse and gives a modern twist to the Big Bang event. So far, I think it's okay. Why? Well, obviously because this is the first issue, and it didn't really start off with a bang, pun intended, but it has me interested to see where it goes. The best part of the series thus far for me has to be the art, mainly because I really like Nicholas Drapey-Ivy, and I've been following his work for a couple of years since the launch of his comic Exogenesis. His artwork is very influenced by Japanese manga, and I think this fits for a modern take of Static. Why? Well, if you think about it, anime and manga are super popular with millennials and Gen Zers. Static is a teenage hero, and it makes sense to use a manga-style comic to attract young adults and teenagers who are into that type of genre. It's perfect. Now here's where things start to go a little bit downhill for me. The plot. It's not bad, but it's just there. Now this could be because Static's origins were revamped and it's not computing well for me. For one, the main gripe I have is that Virgil is kind of hip because OG Virgil only had friends in the nerd sector. Speaking of friends, he kind of seems to be a loner, where previously Richie was the homie and they were pretty much inseparable. Then there's the love interest. I kind of see a slight love triangle taking place. He's got a crush on Frida, but then there's Carolyn, who is obviously interested in him, but he's oblivious to it. Kind of reminds me of Naruto liking Sakura and missing the obvious signs from Hinata. Again, the manga anime inspirations are present. Plus, it seems to be playing an age-old trope of blurred dudes being interested in non-black girls and ignoring the blurred girls who are interested in them. I mean, obviously, Frida and Carolyn are both attractive, but Carolyn seems to be the one who would be interested back. And that hairstyle is Lizade, alright? I'm just saying. Carolyn is a sleeper, you heard? Virgil, open your damn eyes. Okay, here's a crucial area for me. The character development. So far it's good. A lot of things make sense. He's a teenager, so hormones and bad decisions will be through the roof. Here's the kicker. Static has always been a thinker. Even as a teenager with raging hormones, he thought before acting with his powers. Always afraid of showcasing his powers to the public for fear of being labeled a terror, putting his family and friends in harm's way, etc. But Virgil straight up goes to his school and puts on a light show for everyone to see, almost electrifying his longtime bully to death, and then was surprised that a teenage bully with no powers and an even bigger ego showed up to his crib. Not only that, but Richie, Frida, Francis's goons, and a couple other school kids witnessed it. So, when he actually takes on the alias of Static, is he gonna be a public hero? But anyway, like I said, this issue wasn't bad. There are a few good things. As stated before, the art is good, but that ain't the only thing. I like the fact that the characters drawn don't wear the same outfit and actually switch clothes daily. Unlike most manga and comics that have the characters wear the same outfit all the time. I also like the fact that Virgil changes his hairstyle and wears a silk rag to keep up maintenance of his hair. That's such a great detail about black hair maintenance that I do every day that I instantly recognize. We got some panels of Virgil experimenting with his new powers and having accidents. Although short-lived, it was appreciated. Don't get me wrong, I like the fact that Virgil this time isn't an overall pacifist and actually fought back against Francis even before he got his powers. There was a cool scene where Francis and his goons were trying to gang up 3-1 on Virgil, and a couple other black protesters came to back up Virgil out of solidarity. They saw a couple white dudes trying to jump a black kid and wasn't having that shit. The best part was the final panels. The final showdown where Francis showed up to Virgil's crib. The fight scene was pretty good, I definitely like how Virgil uses science knowledge to help him fight Hotstreak, utilizing a method to neutralizing fire he learned from Curtis Metcalf, aka Hardware himself, which was pretty cool. So yeah, the first issue was okay. I definitely saw a few people criticizing the new take on Static, because it kinda seemed to have a slight political agenda. Yet from my recollection, Static and other Dakota series heroes always kinda dealt with pseudo-political issues, especially pertaining to anti-black systemic racism of the United States. I'm sure a few people won't like that I brought that up, but it is what it is. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments. Better yet, let me know how this new series is hitting for you. If you appreciated this video and my take on the first issue for Static Season 1, drop a like for your boy. I also have similar content on my channel that you may find interesting. I just released my retrospective on Isaac from Castlevania, and also gave my insight on the Netflix casting of Wesker on the Resident Evil live action series. Speaking of which, I'll be dropping my new review of RE3 Remake and how it's faring after a year, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to check out the rest of my content. To do that, you gotta subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to stay locked in on new videos when dropped. You know the vibes. It's Kaizoku Sleven. Appreciate you.